Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is the 95th dismissal docket. I'm going to go through the docket, and when I call your case, just let me know that you're present on the call and kind of give me a status of where we are, okay? It's about 9 a.m., so we'll get started. I'm going to start first with DC 1901643. It's a case that's styled Olvera versus Miller. Is the attorney representing Olvera present on the call? Again, that's DC 1901643. Olvera versus Miller. Okay, hearing nothing. This case is going to be dismissed without warrant of prosecution, for warrant of prosecution. The next case is DC 2104451, Westbourne versus Homeowners Insurance Company. DC 2104451, Westbourne Chrysler Dodge versus Homeowners Insurance Company. Hearing no response, that case is being dismissed for warrant of prosecution. The next case is DC 2106362, Rasper versus Clark. Is anyone here representing Laquita Rasper?
Your Honor, I don't see anyone, but this is Sean Morgan on behalf of the defendant. I guess we've settled the case. We're just waiting on a settlement check.
Okay.
And we had notified the court of that settlement prior to the trial date.
I do show that it's settled, Mr. Morgan. When do you anticipate you can get the settlement documents in so we can get this off the docket?
The check has been requested to be overnighted. It should be here either today or tomorrow. And so we will file the notice of dismissal as soon as plaintiff gets the settlement check.
Okay. So if we put this on the dismissal docket for next week, then we should be able just to scratch it off, you think?
We should be able to, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to reset this for 10-4. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. You may be dismissed.
Thank you.
Okay, let me admit some other people, some more latecomers here. DC 2107090, Moore versus Cole. Is anyone here representing Moore? Again, that's DC 2107090, Kalia Moore versus Thomas Cole. Hearing no response, the case is being dismissed for warrant of prosecution. DC 2107521, Wiley versus Armour.
Your Honor, John Godoy for the defendant is here.
Where are you, sir? I'm looking for your pain. Mr. Fuller?
No, Mr. Godoy, Godoy.
Okay, okay, I see you. I see you. Okay, let me. Okay, it looks like this case settled on August the 12th.
Yes, Your Honor. And there's a hospital lien that plaintiff's attorney's office needs to negotiate and get us drafting instructions. We came 2 weeks ago and you gave us an additional 2 weeks. Your Honor, it's in my client's best interest to get a dismissal with prejudice as opposed to a DWAP order. I can't do the hospital lien negotiations myself. I'd ask for a reset so that my client has an opportunity to get a dismissal with prejudice.
What's the date of this accident?
If we're beyond limitations, if that's the point of the question.
Okay, well, it's DWAP, you would get the same effect with the dismissal with prejudice, wouldn't you?
Well, if there's ever issue that I need to go back to the court for example, I can't get any hearing from plaintiff's attorney, then having a lawsuit open allows me to go back to the court to seek relief. Your Honor, Amanda French has just commented. I guess maybe she can't talk, but she's chatting about the case.
Okay, Ms. French, we can't hear you. Ms. French, do you represent the plaintiff in this case?
She does.
Okay. We cannot hear you. Maybe do the best you can, if you can mouth, when can you have the lien resolved? Did you say Thursday?
Your Honor, I don't know if it was Thursday.
Okay, well, I'm not going to hold everybody up. Look, we have to get this off the docket. I don't want to DWAP it, especially in light of the fact that you've got a settlement. But we had this discussion on September the 13th. Where are you regarding the lien? Are you having problems with the lien, Ms. French? Just tell me yes or no. In between. Okay, I'm going to set this 2 more weeks. Okay, and on October the 11th, if it's not resolved, it's going to be DWAP'd. And of course, you'll have a statute defense, Mr. Is it, how you pronounce your last? Yeah, you'll have a statute defense, but I'm not going to carry it more than 2 more weeks. Okay, you need to get it resolved. All right, thank you so much. You guys may be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, DC 220025, Audrey Johnson versus Patrick Orendorf.
Heather Banahan-Neese on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Neese, let me see what we got here. Okay, what's going on? This is a January 22 petition.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant, to our knowledge, has passed away. We've already filed a writ,
Right.
and we have requested the citation. We have not received the citation in order to serve Miss Villegas, who is the administrator and heir to Mr. Orendorf's estate. So
Okay, I show that the writ was requested on August the 10th.
Yes, and I show in my notes here that the citation to serve the administratrix of the estate was filed on September 15th, and to date we have not received that citation, Your Honor. So that's what we're waiting on. We're trying to get her served. The paralegal who was working on this just left this past Friday. So I will follow up with the new paralegal and ask what the heck's going on. Because
So you're saying you requested the citation on September the 15th and you haven't gotten it?
yes, Your Honor. I know Dallas County has been backed up. I filed a petition like 3 or 4 weeks ago and I still haven't gotten the citation. for a case that I've got, like I said, filed. So we'll follow up with the clerks, the main clerk's office about that, and just see what's going on here.
Do you know where the person to be served is physically?
I don't have that information in front of me. I know who it is, but I don't have it. Let me see if I can find an address real quick for your honor. It'll work. Computer is not wanting to work.
Well, don't worry about that. This is almost 2 months old. Okay?
Yes, your honor.
I'm going to put this on the 2-week dismissal docket.
Okay.
And either have the person served by October the 11th, or it's going to be dismissed.
Yes, your honor. Understood. I appreciate your patience.
All right, you may be dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
DC 22-00764, Jeremy Libby versus Detective Justin Klosterman. Is anyone here representing the plaintiff on the call?
Jeremy Libby, present, Your Honor.
Mr. Libby, is I pronounced that correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. Let me see what we are here on this case. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. This is a very lengthy docket today. Okay, this is a petition to take a deposition before a suit. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's going on with that?
So there was about 5 months of problems with the citations and service through the district clerk's office. Finally got verification that all 3 were served a couple of months ago. Although they show unserved on the register of actions. My understanding is the deputy district clerk that was handling the case is no longer with the district clerk's office. The last couple of months, I was tied up in other proceedings, and that just exhausted all of my availability. I am ready to proceed.
I'm sorry, I missed the last portion.
I am ready to proceed to hearing on the matter.
Okay, so you have gotten all the respondents served?
Yes, I have verification that the final respondent was served, though they have not answered.
Okay, would you make sure that gets in the file? Because I don't show that that's in the file.
Absolutely. I will contact the clerk's office and work on that right after we get off this call.
All right, thank you very much. You may be dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
DC 22-01345, Primus Global versus Capital One. Is anyone here representing the party Primus Global? DC 22-01345, Primus Global versus Capital One. Okay. DC 22-02244, Martinez versus Arroyo. Anyone here for the party Martinez? DC 22022244, Martinez versus Aurora. DC 220282, DC 22022382, Encore versus Caldwell. Attorney for Encore present. DC 22022382, Encore versus Caldwell. DC 22025571, Valdez versus Shed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Juliana Fabrice for the plaintiff.
Ms. Fabrice, what's going on with this case?
We need to amend our petition to file uninsured motorist claim against the plaintiff insurance company because defendant was deceased. We served the heir of defendant, but he is not cooperating and he has not filed an answer. So on behalf of the plaintiff, we're gonna amend the petition to add an uninsured motorist claim.
Okay, this is a March petition of this year, and you served the defendant in April. This is October. That's
Yes.
almost 6 months ago.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor. We had difficulties with the plaintiff regarding the confirmation about the insurance. So I would request the final extension to have the amendment filed.
So tell me again what your plan is. You've served the defendant, right?
Yes, we served the defendant, the heir of the defendant, because defendant was deceased.
Oh, so the defendant has since died.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on a 2-week dismissal docket. Okay, I need to see an amended petition, or you need to file a suggestion of death or something, okay? Because this is 6 months old and nothing's happened to it. So I'm gonna put this on the dismissal docket for October the 11th. Make sure you get some pleadings in to keep the case alive, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You may be dismissed. DC 22025579, Goldman Sachs versus Samuel McGarity. Anyone here for Goldman Sachs? DC 22025579, Goldman Sachs versus Samuel McGarity. Hearing no response, this case is being dismissed for want of prosecution. DC 22022849, Torres versus Flores.
Corey Kingery representing the plaintiff, Your Honor. We've filed a default judgment. It's an interlocutory judgment at this point. We need additional time to get some of the affidavits fixed. They were filled out improperly by the provider. I should be able to have this in by next week.
Yeah, I show you a motion for default has been filed. You said that's an interlocutory motion?
That's right. We have not proved up the damages because the affidavits we have are invalid. We need them redone.
Okay. And how much time do you think you need to get the affidavits drafted and filed?
I think 1 week should be enough. If you want to give us 2, that would be great, but I can probably get it done in just a week.
Okay, I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll place it on the October 11th docket, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You may be dismissed. DC 22-05222 Waganyu versus Beltran. DC 22-05222 Ruby Waganyu versus Daniela Beltran. Excuse me for just a second. Hearing no response, that case is being dismissed for want of prosecution. DC 22-05284, State of Texas versus $2,050.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good
Ms.
morning, Your
Parker,
Honor.
how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm fine. Let me pull this up here. Let's see. Okay, Ms. Parker, looks like you haven't been able to effect service on this. Is this correct?
We have not, Your Honor. We have issued 2 citations and they both have been returned unexecuted.
I'm sorry, can you speak up? I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can, it's better, yes.
Okay, we have issued 2 citations for the claimant, but they have been returned unexecuted. We recently issued a citation for a new address, so we're hopeful we will be able to get him served at that address. There are no criminal case settings as of yet to get the claimant served, so we're still trying to find the claimant in this case. So we're asking for additional time if the court would allow.
Okay, how much time do you think you need?
30 days is fine, Your Honor.
No, I'll give you 30 days.
2 weeks?
Okay, I'll give you 2 weeks.
All right.
Looks like you've been making an effort to try to get them served, but I'm gonna set this on a dismissal docket for October the 11th, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. You may be dismissed.
I have another case.
Okay. Is that the next one, DC 22-05285?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me find that one. Okay, again, you got an unexecuted citation. What's going on? You got 2 individuals. What's going on with them?
So on that one, I've talked to the main claimant in that case, and we have an address for him. But when we issued for that address, it came back unexecuted. I have talked to his criminal attorney, so I'm hopeful that they will file an answer in this matter. We've been emailing back and forth, and they are going to represent him in this asset forfeiture case. So I'm asking for 2 weeks to continue to speak with them to see if they will file an answer and or file a 106 motion to get the attorney served in this matter if they will not.
Now, what about the other party, Ogden? Which is the main claimant that you're claiming?
So the main claimant is Odin.
Okay, what about this Miller
Miles?
Miles?
Yeah. So in regards to Miles, he's the registered owner of the vehicle, and we have posted in accordance with Chapter 59 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. So if we cannot get him served, I can file a interlocutory default per Chapter 59.
Have you attempted service on Miles as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the October the 11th docket, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You may be dismissed.
Thank you.
DC 22-05324, Toledo versus Fidalgo. DC 22-05324, Maria Toledo versus Garrett Fildago. Hearing no response, that case is being dismissed for want of prosecution. DC 22-05433, Anastasio versus Hicks. DC 22-5433, Rodolfo Telez Anastasio versus Raymond Hicks. Hearing no response, that case is being dismissed for want of prosecution. DC 22-05435, Luna versus Rocha.
Your Honor, good morning, Your Honor. Min Win for the plaintiff.
Okay, I show that this case was filed in May and we still don't have any service. What's going on?
Yes, sir. We tried 3 different locations. We have a lead on another location. He might be traveling, so that might be the reason why, but we're requesting a little bit more time to serve him.
Are you sure that the location that you said you tried 3 different locations? You tried 3 different times or 3 different locations?
We've tried 3 different locations, 3 different times.
You don't have a good address for him? Or for the defendant?
We're hoping this this last one that we found is good. So we're gonna try there. If not, we're just gonna have to use alternative ways to serve them.
What's the date of the accident?
August 17, 21.
Yeah, you're right up against the statute. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks, and you need to either file a motion to provide some substitute service to them.
Yes,
or
sir.
we're gonna put it on, or we're gonna dismiss it, okay? I'm gonna set it for the October the 11th docket.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You may be dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
DC 22-05608, Gonzalez versus Gonzalez Castaneda.
Yes, Your Honor. Drew Peters here for the plaintiff.
Okay, Mr. Peters, it's like a parking lot accident. You're still trying to get service on the driver. Is that correct?
I believe the driver has actually been served, and this is a dram shop case
Okay.
where the bar was also served last month. And we're just asking for a little more time to allow them to answer, and otherwise we'll move for a default.
Okay, it looks like the bar was served on the 5th and the driver was served on the, I guess, the 1st of August or somewhere around there. That sound about right?
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly right.
Are you in communications with the defendants?
No, we know the driver or believe the driver is now in jail, and that's complicating things. It's actually related to the wreck, is my understanding. She was arrested for DWI recently.
So what do you want to do? You want to give them a little longer to try to answer, or you want to prepare your default? What are you trying to do?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like at least 2 more weeks just to allow them to answer, and if they don't, we'll file our default motion.
Okay, I'm going to set this on the October 11th docket, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. You may be dismissed. DC 22-05702, James Diggs versus Sophia Rivas.
Yes, Your Honor. Juliana again.
Let me pull this up. This case rings a bell, Ms. Fabrice. I wonder why.
Yes, we are moving to default. We are getting all the medical records, and I would request an extension to have everything filed.
Okay, the defendant was served on June the 28th.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put this on next week's dismissal docket. Either get a default filed or it's going to be dismissed. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you may be dismissed.
Thank you.
DC 22-05712, that's Ramirez versus Rubit. Anyone here representing the party, Josephina Ramirez? DC 22-05702, Ramirez versus Rubit. Hearing none, this case is being dismissed for a warrant of prosecution. DC 22-05872, Morales versus Everett.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Fabrice, this case was filed in June of this year, and you've yet to serve the defendant. What's going on?
Defendant changed address during the service of process, but our provider has the correct, a good address for the defendant. And yesterday I talked with him, and he is in a hunt to get the defendant served as soon as possible. But we have a good address at this time, and I would request 2 more weeks to have the defendant served.
What's the date of the accident?
Just one second, Your Honor. October 4, 2021.
Okay, I'm going to set this on the 2-week dismissal docket. And Ms. Fabrice, take down my phone number.
I'm sorry?
Take down my phone number, please. I'm going to give you my number. Please write it down. 214 653 6167. And about 11 o'clock, give me a call, would you please?
Yes, of
All right,
course.
thank you. You may be dismissed.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. DC 22-05888, Discover Bank versus Beavers. Is anyone here representing Discover Bank?
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Enda here for Discover Bank.
Good morning, sir. Let me pull this out. Okay, I see you filed a motion to retain. I'm glad you joined the call today. I think that's the tendency. People just don't show up for the dismissal docket, file a motion to retain and think that's it. Well, I'm not going to entertain any motion to retain. If you're too busy to come to the dismissal docket, your case is going to be dismissed. I want to at least know what's going on with this file. Okay, looks like you've got service filed from August 16th, breach of contract. Okay, what's going on?
Your Honor, defendant's answer was due September 6th. We're not showing any type of appearance or answer submitted to the court or to us. We're in the process of preparing a motion for default judgment. We're simply waiting on the damages affidavit. As soon as that comes in, we'll get the motion for default filed. So if the court could retain it, I will advise the client to get the affidavit in within the time frame the court gives.
Okay, how much time do you think you need, sir?
Safely, I'd say 30 days, Your Honor, but of course, with experience, I take what the court gives.
Okay, we're going to give you 2 weeks.
Okay,
Tell your
perfect, Your
client to
Honor.
get that in. It's important.
Will do, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You may be dismissed.
Thank you.
DC 22-05907, Quest Trust versus Reyes.
Your
Anyone
Honor,
here representing-
Robert Frisch, the plaintiff.
Okay, Mr. Frisch, let me pull this case up here.
This is a reset from 2 weeks ago, Judge.
Okay, looks like the last time we talked, you said you were gonna, well, I asked you to consider some substitute service requests, right?
And we have done that, and the citations have now been issued. They've been served by registered mail, sent out on the 23rd of September. And the old citations have now been filed unserved. So we just need to see if they're going to accept service by certified mail. If not, we'll have to seek publication or something, because they're hiding out. The address that we have is the same that we tried to serve them by with our process server, and that turned out to be a post office box. And that post office box is also their address for service on their LLC for their registered office. So we're sending out the mail to the exact same address, so we're not trying to serve it any different way. We're just had the clerk serve it by the registered mail.
Now,
So
is the defendant an LLC?
the defendant is one, LLC is one of three defendants.
Okay,
It's the two owners who individually guaranteed notes, and the corporation, or the LLC rather, is the company, but the individuals were guarantors.
let me look at something 1 second. Okay, Systems Savannah, is that an individual or is that a company?
C. Savan is one of the individual owners. The other, Savan is his wife. Phyllis is his wife.
And then the Win Regroup is the LLC.
Correct.
And who did you serve by by certified mail?
All three of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the citations are shown on the docket sheet now. I went by the clerk's office yesterday and made sure they're on the docket sheet. So they show they went out on the 23rd by the clerk's office with the registered mail site numbers on the posting.
Okay, I'm gonna reset this, Mr. Frisch, to October the 18th. That gives you 3 weeks to get everybody served and get something on file, okay?
That sounds good.
All right, thank you very much. You may be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, DC 22-06056, 4 Geeks versus Transmit. Anyone here for 4 Geeks?
John, excuse me, John Dubiel for the plaintiff, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dubiel. Let me pull this one up here. Okay, I show that the defendant has been served via the Secretary of State on August the 8th. Is that correct?
I spoke with the Travis County Constable's Office a couple weeks ago. They told me they were served August 2nd. I have not received anything back from the Secretary of State.
You're right. It is August the 2nd. I do show August 2nd.
And it's been a while, but the Secretary of State has been served. And, you know, I don't do that very often, so I don't know the turnaround time, but that seems like a long time. But it is being served by certified mail.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, if I were to receive it in the next week, confirmation of service, then I'd still need a couple of weeks to let it, assuming I'm going to take a default. Well, I guess that remains to be seen, but I'm asking for a 30-day, Your Honor, if you would grant that.
Okay, I'm gonna set it 3 weeks out on October 18th.
Thanks very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be dismissed.
Thank you.
DC 22-06185, Jones versus Anderson.
Yes, Your Honor. Matt McKay here for plaintiff Twyla Jones.
Hey, Mr. McKay, give me a second. Let me pull this up here. Okay, I show that this is a June lawsuit and we don't have any service. What's going on?
Your Honor, we have been very diligently trying to get service on defendant Tommy Anderson. The citation was put in the hand. I do think they were running behind, I believe, but in July, the citation was put in the hand of the process server. The process server has been making multiple attempts at service of this defendant. I went and hired an investigator to help me to try to confirm and make sure that we did have the right address. There was an elderly lady that came to the door. She did represent during the course of these several attempts that he wasn't there. I myself have been out there. This is an important case to me, obviously. I've been out there myself personally as recently as yesterday. Several times the elderly lady did not come back to the door. Yesterday, I was out there with the process server. She did come to the door. The investigator that again represented that he wasn't there. We have gone in the mornings, we have gone in the evenings, we have gone in mid-morning. The investigator has been able to confirm that a vehicle that was there at one point is registered to the defendant. That's a 2020 Mitsubishi. And he's done several other things that are giving me peace of mind that he's there. I decided yesterday, after seeing the elderly lady there, that I was going to draft a letter to them explaining not to be scared or concerned, that I thought everything could be worked out in the hopes that she would cooperate and help us be able to serve who we believe is her son. So I'm just asking for some additional time to do that.
Now, how many attempts of service have been made?
There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, yesterday, I was out there with the process server, so that's 8.
And why haven't you requested some kind of substitute service?
Your Honor, since COVID has transpired, I've had a handful. I've not had to do that a lot in the past, and I'm not having a lot of success. We've recently had one that we got served. They still have not answered. And so it's as though I lose the case when they don't. The insurance companies will do a right of reservation of rights. I do all the work in filing motions for default, including the cost of procuring the affidavits and the records, and then we end up with an empty bag. I talked to my process server about this because they are experiencing that same thing on many occasions where people are making it difficult to be served. They are the ones that suggested to me that they have suggested to some of the plaintiffs to write these letters, giving these people some peace of mind. Look, I know this may be a little bit concerning and scary, but everything should be able to be worked out. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, Mr. McKay, I appreciate your position, and let me give you mine. This case was filed in June. Citations were issued in June. We're about to go into October. We have no service. I understand your position, but you guys have got to either move this case to, and this is for the benefit of everyone still on the call, okay? You know, we're not trying to be unreasonable. We're just not going to let cases languish around. I mean, I understand and appreciate your positions, but you've either got to get service or get substitute service. You got to do something to show the court that I'm moving this case forward. Because, and you guys can pass this word around, we're not going to let these things languish from week to week to week to week. Either you're going to prosecute the case or it's going to be dismissed. So I'm going to put this on a 2-week dismissal docket, Mr. McKay. It's 4 months old. I'm going to set it for October the 11th and either get service or get some kind of substitute request for service.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, because I don't have the privilege of being in front of judges, you know, all the time, can I just let you know what it is like for plaintiffs out there right now? We had a 2-year period where we couldn't get settings, we couldn't have trials. Now we're out there with huge dockets backed up and being pushed. And I have been practicing since 1993. And I knew this was coming, that these dockets would be backed up and these plaintiffs' attorneys would be out there stressed to the gills. I feel like a baby lawyer again, juggling multiple trial settings for courts that are pushing their dockets because they're backlogged, and I understand that. But I wouldn't be doing my job as an attorney on the practicing bar if I didn't also spread the word as best I can to ask for empathy from the courts at what's going on out here with us as attorneys being backlogged as well. So I appreciate you allowing me that second to voice that. My voice is shaking because I am stressed. And I know a lot of my fellow bar is stressed. We're talking about it a lot. So if as you're conducting these hearings, you will remember that there's 2 sides of the bench, and that's a practicing bar, and we are being diligent, and we are pushing, and we are trying to get cases resolved. One of the things, just so the court is aware, is the insurance companies are equally backed up, and they seem, some of them, to be working, trying to avoid depositions and so forth and so on in an effort to try to get these cases amicably resolved that had to be filed. So, Your Honor, thank you for your time. I hope you don't hold it against me in the future. Just a little bit stressed out here.
Well, Mr. McKay, I appreciate your comments, and I do understand. And I think everybody is somewhat backed up because of the last 3 years. But I will say this to those that are still on the call, is that the Dallas County courts now have 2 associate judges. I'm one of them. And we're trying to let people know we're here. We can offload a lot of the work from the sitting judges if you request. If you're getting stacked up behind some motion hearings or whatever, you can always request an associate judge. And we're getting our feet wet as well. So I appreciate your comment. I think everybody's in the same boat. And from my perspective, I appreciate due diligence. I just need to see it. And when I pull up a file and I see this is a petition of June and there's no service, then my mind begins to wonder what's going on. And I know wheels are spinning in the background, but I appreciate your comment and I will take it to heart. And let's see what we can do. And I think, you may not want to do substitute service, but that shows the court that you're doing something, that you're still trying to move the case along, and we can support those things. But it's when we see no activity and we know the cases are still coming in with the backlog, then we're just charged with trying to get these cases moving. So I appreciate your comment. And if you have nothing further, you may be dismissed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you for your guidance. I appreciate you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
DC 22-06230 Mindsight versus Optum. DC 22-06230 Mindsight versus Optum. Hearing no response, this case is going to be dismissed for warrant of prosecution. DC 22-06267 Bank of America versus Sandlin. DC 2206. I'm sorry, Ms.
Yes, Judge.
Strain.
Yes, Laura Strain for Bank of America, Judge.
Okay, let me find this one. Okay, Ms. Strain, I show that the defendant was served on June the 29th. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor, and we filed a motion for default judgment, and I noticed on the court docket that it is there. It shows 10 a.m. for submission, but I wanted to be sure to be on here to make sure nothing happened in my case.
Well, thank you for showing up. All right, you may be that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You may be dismissed.
Okay.
DC 22-06318, Discover Bank versus Fowler. DC 22-06318, Discover Bank versus Tammy Fowler. Hearing no response, this case is being dismissed for warrant of prosecution. DC 22-06495, TD Bank versus Sims. DC 22-06495, TD Bank versus Sims. Hearing no response, this case is being dismissed for warrant of prosecution. DC 22-06506, Portfolio Recovery versus Lopez. DC 22-06506, Portfolio versus Lopez. Hearing no response, that case has been dismissed for warrant of prosecution. Okay, that's all I have on my docket, but I see I have some people left. So Miss Noack, she's smiling. That means we didn't get to you. But okay, which case are you, Miss Noack? We'll take you first.
Sorry, I'm here for DC 22-06245.
Okay, let me come out of here. Okay, give me that again.
DC 22-06245.
The Cincinnati Insurance Company versus Rogers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Again, we have a June 9th petition. You filed a motion to retain. Thank you for showing up.
And this morning, and I think yesterday as well, I think it got filed twice. We've got a 106 motion on file.
Okay, so you have filed a substitute service motion,
Yes.
and that was filed today?
Yes, I think it was filed twice because we weren't sure.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
You may be dismissed.
Okay, right.
Okay, Mr. Fuller, let me back out of this one and then give me your case number.
DC 22-05867.
Blue X. I thought I had that. I don't know why she took that off, but let me see.
It could be because we filed our motion for default judgment last Friday, September 23rd, but I wanted to show up just in case.
I got you. Thank you for showing up, sir.
Thank you. May I be excused?
You may be. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. And that ends the dismissal docket for the 95th Judicial District Court on September 27, 2022.